Hi, I'm Claudia Tellis from Trailblazing Business, and today we're going to talk about the 3 tips you can do to really stand out during your interview. Now, if you're preparing for an upcoming interview, here are the 3 things you can do to actually stand out. One of the things that I always recommend when you're about to interview is to plan for the expected. A lot of us already know all the basic questions you get through the interview. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What is your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses? Can you tell me a little bit of a time that you had a challenging time or situation? These are questions if you've ever interviewed before, you already know what to expect. But very few of us actually prepare for it. We have an idea of what we want to say or how we might want to sound. We feel that perhaps we will figure it out once we're there. We'll just know what to say once we get to the interview. And guess what? You're not. Interviewers can tell when you're just BSing. They can tell when you're just pulling things out of thin air. Or 3, you're just saying some generic bullshit as in, I'm just a really hard worker and that's one of my weaknesses today. So stop saying the same things that everyone says. So plan for the expected. You already know these questions are going to be asked. Prepare. How do you want to sound? What are they looking for? Are they looking for someone that is very process oriented? Are they looking for someone with interpersonal skills and you're trying to go into sales? Try to plan what you're going to say that aligns with what they're looking for and the position. 2, how to stand out, right? So the next thing is stop sounding like everyone else. No, your weakness is not that you work too hard, okay? And your strength is that you're always a hard worker and you always submit your work before deadlines. Stop saying it. You keep hearing it. Interviewers hear it all the time. And it gets very annoying and basic. And at times I just want to say, just leave. Like, this is not going to work out. I'm sorry. It's not. Just really leave. So stop sounding like everyone else. What does everyone else say? Well, my weakness is I'm too hardworking. I care too much. I help out my team way too much and put myself last. Yeah, so does apparently everyone else that has ever interviewed. They're all hard workers. So instead, you can say, one of my challenges is that, I'm a very results-oriented person. So I always like to lead with some of my conversations with what are the results and by when should we get there. But knowing this, I know that, working with other different personalities, not everyone thinks like me. So one of the things that I've been doing is I've been taking some workshops and reading some books on how to get better in my interpersonal skills and how to work with different types of personalities. Now I'm able to identify a person's personality and actually speak their language where I'm able to address and communicate effectively with them based on their preferences. That's totally different from, oh yeah, I'm really hardworking, right? It's different. Now you're a human being. I'm seeing your weaknesses, but also I'm seeing that you're doing something about it. So that makes a huge difference. Lastly, to really stand out during an interview, 3 is get the inside scoop. If you know you're going to be applying for this company and they usually give you a few days notice, maybe 4 or 5 days where, hey, when are you available to interview? If it's a Monday, ask for Thursday. Right? And in between that time, reach out to someone on LinkedIn that works at the company or perhaps a mutual friend and just say, hey, by the way, I have an interview coming up at your company. Do you have 10, 15 minutes to talk with me? I want to learn more about the culture of the company, but also a little bit more in depth about your expertise and your experience with the company. I would really appreciate it. If you're too busy, I'd be more than happy to email you those questions. Honestly, I send that to random people where it's not even we're not even alumni from the same school, nothing whatsoever. Just cold emailed people on LinkedIn, and I've received an 80% response rate where people are like, of course, I'm so happy to, congratulations, or I'm so happy to help you. Yeah, let's hop on for 15 minutes. Or sometimes they'll say, you know what, just email me the questions, and they actually respond. So if you really want to stand out there in an interview, I recommend to 1, plan for the expected. Plan for those basic interview questions, okay? It's going to happen. 2, stop sounding like everyone else. Think about it. The interviewer's always thinking, can you do the job? 2, how much am I going to need for you to start actually doing the job? And 3, are you going to stay here long enough to give me the results? That's honestly what interviewers are thinking. So stand out from everyone else by not sounding like everyone else. And always keep in mind those 3 things. And lastly, get the inside scoop. Reach out to people. We have LinkedIn. We have all this social media out there that you're able to get in contact with someone easily within the next 2 to 3 days. So here are your top 3 tips on how to stand out during your interview. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.